All right, good morning, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us on Good Morning Ghana. Today is the 29th of April, 2025. This day, indeed, is the day the law has made, and we're grateful, we're glad that we're back here with that rare privilege of joining the nation's conversation, what's happening in our dear country, Ghana. My name is Awudu Moros. So we'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting on the front pages. Daily Graphic, chip-embedded passports kick in. President Mahama Akufo-Addo take copies. Boku feuding parties converge at Onitsha for peace talks. Ejumewura blast-off program to create 20,000 decent jobs annually. July 1 declared a National Day of Thanksgiving. Weak enforcement behind annual fiscal laws. UPSA Dean Lord ZML's ruling in plugging leakages. The Ghanaian Times, chip-embedded passports rolled out. Protesters hit across streets, demand end to Galamsey. Stop blame game, channel energies into business creation. Richard Nikwe challenges youth. President unveils Ejumewura initiative to create 10,000 businesses annually. Daily Guide, history will be kind to Nana Bawumia. OSP drags Charles Bissiu to court for corruption. Asante Mamponhene dead. NDC petition against 3 Ashanti seats dismissed. Let's invest together for economic growth. Amakwe to youth. The new crusading guide. OSP files criminal charges against Charles Bissiu. Grand jubilation at CDC headquarters as Apostle Alex Edu is inducted as the new chairman. Court remands bartender for threatening Kole Ulomo. Ejumewura program to empower 10,000 youth entrepreneurs annually, NEIP CEO. CJ's suspension politically motivated. Advocacy for Citizens Ghana. NDC's 2025 budget vindicates MPP as an asset to Ghana's development. The Insight. Why Nkrumah Never Dies. SMG speaks on 53rd anniversary of the passing of the great Osagyefo. Pressure mounts on presidency to set up committee into alleged diversion of funds by top MPP officials and staff of Ridge Hospital. E-levy, economic hardship gave MPP the blow. Bawumia vindicates Eugene Boakye entry at last. When rhetoric fails action, a reflection on the latest Human Rights Council session. KGL Group renews 20 million cedis 2-year sponsorship agreement with GFA under auspices of Sports Ministry. Afro-Arab Group president hails Kwewu Business Forum, wants inclusion of AFTA. Ejumewura program is a game changer for Ghanaian youth, says Eric Ej. Segregation at source is the tsunami that will change funding of waste management. Nate Tokoli. Daily Post. Matilda Sante Asiedu appointed as second deputy BOG governor. Mahama launches Ejumewura to create 10,000 youth-led businesses annually. Stop anointing chip-embedded passports. Foreign minister to pass this. CDS holds farewell meeting with 2-star generals in Ghana Armed Forces. Economy Times. Ghana's growth projection revised as World Bank, IMF reevaluate global economy. Fitch predicts minimal impact of U.S. tariffs on Ghana as IMF pushes for economic reforms. Cryptocurrency trading regulatory framework begin to emerge. Metro Lens. Zoom Lion YEA controversy, no need to panic. Parliament Environment Committee Chair. Reverend Timfojo wins 1 million cedi defamation suit. Mahama launches Ejumewura to empower young entrepreneurs. Posterity will vindicate Akufo-Addo's good works. Bawumia. The Daily Searchlight. Chief Justice's removal. MPP, other parties ready for demo. Timfojo wins 1 million cedis defamation suit. I will contest MPP primaries again in 2026. Adainimo. That's interesting, isn't it? No need to panic for Zoom Lion YEA controversy, Parliament Environment Committee Chair. The Business and Financial Times. GRA urges businesses individuals to file tax returns by April 30 to avoid heavy penalties. Ghana risks losing vital port traffic to neighboring competitors. Experts to discuss rising pension assets. And can our development agenda lie in a pension vote? It comes with a question mark. So that's it for the front page stories. I'll return shortly and I'll be letting you in on my guest for the show this morning. Please stay with us.
Anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath.
I'm a fat missy way.
The patch of Bantama.
Matias.
That's a cycle.
It's her smile. The fresh breath.
Me, Jidi said we use Cal 360 toothpaste. Semikai.
Cal 360 toothpaste.
That's Kia. Cal 360 toothpaste. It's a gum protector.
Onim jom kasa.
Kile kosen.
Cal 360 did the way. It's cool mint. Gives me fresh breath and your confidence booster.
You so feeling ye. Cal 360 toothpaste.
Happy smile. Cal 360 toothpaste, anti-cavity, gum protection, brighter teeth, and fresh breath. Cal, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Fire pomudi ni agubi. Ghana fueni aji. If you say ya your local spices na ya frafra dia ya sankofa natural spice.
Me de go me jollof mo. Ni me still ahuduma. Emanate dance.
Stanley, the barbecue the go on.
Sankofa natural spices. And one you use 100% natural.
Adofo, mamunye huge mistake. Sankofa natural spices. Didi.
FDA ejedi nkratu yatu.
Jeans energy drink.
Ama,
See me general well being enkoye crowd. Amama ye boom se kuntomra akija.
Nancy me who say me no passing macra. Amami kuni me into kwankwa. Oh, you why? And you won't give us GC mixture and any capsules. Ah, you num boom and want some na more kana. A boy and ma any memina. Ne ma ba ye obesima. Na bear must why ye bear messima. Ya, we be boy. I'm a neck giant sour the shelly bottom. No, when you need to say, you owe you chop one. GC mixture and a capsule. Achesa.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one and Quada when you feel to me. Achesa.
Hello, my friends. My name is Kel-Kate Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Kel-Kate, happy smile.
All right, you're still live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My name is Aldo Moro. Now, the show is also live on 94.1 FM. I keep saying those of you who want to follow the show keenly, you want to monitor it. I know some of you are addicted to Good Morning Ghana, and it's understandably so. But then you want to move away from your home and monitor it on some other platform. So the radio is 94.1. 94.1 doesn't have a name yet, but what I can tell you is that it's crystal clear. Please tune into 94.1 FM and monitor Good Morning Ghana there and enjoy your favorite Good Morning Ghana. But the show is proudly brought to you by Polytank. Polytank. Now, you know, this is Ghana, and you only get deceived if you're not sure of what you're buying or you don't really know the market. Now, when it comes to water storage tanks, the name we all know is Polytank. It has been with us for over 30 years and has been trusted by all these generations. Now, make no mistake, now always choose Polytank for guaranteed quality. It's available at the same price across the country at Polytank partner shops. Now, be it Rambo, Hippo, Sumo, or Super Sumo, durability is always assured and durability is always guaranteed. That I can tell you for a fact. Polytank, the original, always the best. Papano and Kasa. Polytank does not request for Momo payment online. So, buyers beware. Very, very important. And also, my favorite Blue Jeans energy drink. Blue Jeans energy drink. I love it. I love it. Have you tasted the Blue Jeans energy drink yet? If you haven't, please try it. Blue Jeans energy drink. It's fantastic. It's just super, 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 super nice. So Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years, and it does a lot for the body. It has vitamins and nutrients, vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, taurine, it has guarana, and is known to boost your strength and energy as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and has been tried. We know it and we can testify. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for both and active men and women, and it's in shops nationwide. Kindly call these numbers if you want to buy them in bulk, and call Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 020-812-8190, 0208-128-190, or 055-001-000, 055-001-000. That's your favorite, or my favorite, and your favorite Blue Jeans Energy Drink. Now, joining us this morning for what, as usual, promises to be a very, very thought-provoking, riveting, very enlightening, and very interesting conversation this morning. One is a lawyer, and one is a politician, strictly speaking. And there are other things about him that he hasn't given the permission for me to disclose. So for now, I'll just say that he's the director of communications of the NPP. That's Richard Ahiagba. Richard, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Amoro.
And I hope you're doing well.
Quite well.
You know, not many people actually know what your area of expertise is. It's just every time it's director of communications, director of communications. Today, please tell us, is there anything else that we need to know about you that the public doesn't know?
Do a one-on-one.
Finance, economy.
Do a one-on-one with me one day, and we'll go into.
Come on, Richard. Must we do a one-on-one?
But as for today, my European brother, who is here, he has a lot of questions to answer. So
my God.
Let me save the time for that.
Richard, my question was, who are you?
I am, as you have introduced.
Richard Ahiagba.
Yes, sir.
Director of Communications.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, we'll do some digging. It's not difficult at all.
Not at all.
We have a lot of mutual friends.
Absolutely.
And very soon, don't be surprised that I'll put it out there, even though you're unwilling to do it now.
You'll find out.
One-on-one.
You'll find out.
I hear you. I will. It's not difficult at all. Anyway, so also here with us, I told you, he's a private legal practitioner, also a member of the NDC's communications team. I'm talking about Hamza Suhini. Hamza, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning.
How are you?
Well, I'm surviving. Good morning to you and the team as well.
Yeah.
Of course, my brother, who is now learning the art of opposition.
Okay. That's Richard Ahiagba.
And I'll cherish you.
He calls you his European.
Because of my suit. You guys are all in African attire.
You have a love for suits, don't you?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. Because
are they locally made, or these are? Okay,
well, I'm a social democrat. So all you need to know is that these are locally made. Of course, but from time to time, because of my affinity with a country like the United Kingdom, of course, once in a while I get some from that place, because that's my second home. I always say that. I don't mean words in saying that. But yeah, I'm a social democrat, so I try as much as possible to reflect the ideals. It doesn't mean to manifest poverty. Of course not. But to be moderate in
these
terms
days,
of my...
Your critics have added another nomenclature to social democrats. They say champagne social democrats.
It's because they lack the understanding when it comes to the principles we stand for. Social democracy is not the same thing as celebrating poverty. Or spreading poverty. It's about spreading prosperity, making it possible for many other people who are down there to also become self-sufficient and play their role as far as the economy is concerned. So we are not against self-sufficiency, but I think the overriding principle is that it must be done with some measure of state regulation. And for us, that is it. It's not about being poor. So when I see our colleagues in the MPP make reference to things like champagne socialists, I just laugh. It's clearly, it betrays the understanding of what social democracy is about.
It's all
of course, it's not about glorifying poverty or stagnation. It is about progress and self-sufficiency, and we believe in these principles too.
Okay, so that's the proper and the true definition of what social democracy is all about, rather than what you have termed as the misconceived, understanding what social democracy. Anyway, Richard, how's your party doing? I mean, Because the party has been in opposition for 4 months, and your party is trying to rebuild. It's on a reformative journey. A number of things have happened. Michael Quay Committee's reports is ready. It's been submitted to the party's National Council. I would have wished that we had a copy of the report, even though I'm still doing everything possible to get a copy of the report, as every journalist should do. I haven't succeeded yet. I don't know whether you're working against it. And we were told that we will not be told. In fact, the content of the report will not be made public. And you stated reasons why. And so for now, the party will work with, would figure out how to work with the report in ways that can help it to rebuild. But we also know that it's a 9-member committee which has been formed, which is supposed to be chaired by the former Greater Accra GBA boss and now the chairman of your Constitutional Legal Affairs Committee. I'm talking about Frank Davis. Yeah. We're supposed to look at some constitutional reforms. And of course, the criticism has been that if the people don't know what the report is about, how do you get their buy-in? How do you carry them through the process? And so on and so forth. Kwesi Pratt's argument has been that if the people do not know why the party lost the elections officially, what kinds of constitutional reforms do you intend to undertake? You know, he's also been asking that question. But now we're beginning to see, it appears the snippets of the content of the report is beginning to play out through the thank you tour that your party, of course the party and the former flag bearer, when presidential candidate Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is embarking upon. I think so far you've been to 3 places? Or
yes,
2,
so we've done, I think today will be the 4th.
Yes.
We've done Western North, Ahafo, right. And today, I think, Bono.
Okay, okay, all right. So before I get to even specifics, generally, how would you say the thank you tour is going? Would you say that it is achieving the purpose for which, in the first place, the idea was mooted, you know? And there's quite a number of other stories in the newspaper, but I want to pick your general thoughts first before I come to some specifics here.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mauro. Good morning to your viewers and my brother. I think the tour is going well. I made it a point to be at the first event, which was in Western Region on Saturday. And so I can tell you firsthand how it started, how it's going, and how it's likely to end, given the indications that started it. It was greeted with enthusiasm. The party spirit was high, and throughout the day, we had 3 stops, and all stops showed very high spirit. So on the basis of that, I'm able to tell you that the spirit of the New Patriotic Party is strong, is alive. There's great enthusiasm, such that if party activities were organized today, you'll see people come out in their numbers to drive the interest of the New Patriotic Party. So far, I'd say so good. There have been some inputs or concerns that have been raised about it, but that is to be expected. Given the human endeavor that we're involved in, you can only strive for perfection. It always is a thing that we must strive for. But I can tell you on balance that the tour is going well. The speakers are focusing on the matters that are useful. One, for me, of the highlight, for me, all the stops, is the honest appreciation of the efforts of our party people in the 2024 election, seeking to win that election. And you know, sometimes it gets lost on us that the MPP was trying to win a 3rd term, okay, which is an improbable thing, which is something that's not been done in our history in this 4th Republic. So it was not as though we lost an election that we ought to necessarily have won. But we felt that given our commitment and what work we have done and what propositions we have in our 2024 manifesto, it was right for Ghanaians to give us a second or a third term, which will be the first term of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to consolidate the gains that we have made and to be able to make amends for all the hard and difficult decisions that we have to take. Key among them, the DDEP, which was taken with great burden because of the impact that we knew would have on people. And so we're looking for occasion to continue to drive the gains that we have made so that we don't lose them. Unfortunately, there's that appearance that we're losing ground or we're not going to be able to keep the path that was handed over to the NDC, the growth path that was handed to them. So our pursuit was to win a third term, which is a novelty, something that has not been done. So it was a difficult ask of our party to be able to drive to that third gear. And so we understand that, yes, it was a difficult task. We gave it our all, just that it wasn't good enough. And seeking to appreciate the party for committing to that effort to win a third term was something that, for me, is great on the tour that all the leaders are speaking to. And also, many of the speakers take turns to make honest admission for some lapses. That's why you will hear the mention of, arrogance of power to some extent, which has become the heading of the matter rather than the essence of the message, which is to recognize that something may have gone wrong, and in effect, we want to apologize for those and take them as lessons on board to aid our future pursuits, which would be that such things will not recur given the opportunity in 2028. So for me, the tour has been productive, will continue to be productive. My only call is to appeal to all members of the party, especially the aspirants in the 2024 presidential primaries, to join hands, to get on board, every party member to join hands and support this tour and take on the challenge that we are here to fight to advance the lot of Ghanaians, and that 2028 is an occasion for us to do it. But before we can get there, possibly win the 2028, we must first regroup, rebuild, and strengthen the party for that task ahead in 2028. And that is a process the Thank You Tour has started, and I think that is going well so far.
There are some who feel that instead of a thank you tour, the party should be rather embarking on an apology and an accountability tour. Instead of terming it as a thank you tour, term it as an apology tour, because the party, of course, as shown in the last elections, have sinned gravely against Ghanaians, and that's why Ghanaians decided not to give you a third mandate, and so you should be apologizing to them for whatever wounds or whatever hurt you may have inflicted upon them, and not rather a thank you to. I mean, who are you thanking? Are you thanking the Ghanaians who did not give you a third mandate, or what's the whole thank you to about? How do you respond to these criticisms?
Moro, you should have paid attention to that retort by whoever they are. I don't know who would be saying that.
Dr. Arthur Kennedy is one of your senior members.
Dr. Arthur Kennedy is no longer a member of our party. You see his conduct.
He says he is.
I mean, that's what he says, but a party member per our constitution should not be behaving like that. Many of the things he said, senior member, respected and all. But you see, you belong to a society or a group of people. There are rules. Even in our country, there's a constitution. If you act out of alignment with it, you are punished. You understand? So you want to belong, you act as you are required to act. So that conduct in of itself just tells you he's not. And so that's fine about that. So really that brings you to the point that that shouldn't be a comment that we validate for conversation, right? But the point I want to make is that a thank you tour has history, okay? The MPP, since President Dubois' time, we've been doing that. President Kufuor did it, President Akufo-Addo did it, but Dr. Bawumia, who led our ticket in 2024, is doing it. So there's no novelty there. The NDC, I'm pretty sure, also have this culture of doing thank yous. So it's not anything. But is preposterous, the suggestion that there must be anything remotely close to having somebody go and do an apology. I think that's.
But the General Secretary's done that actually. He's apologized.
But I actually said that.
Yes.
I told you that two key highlights are the apology for lapses and then the appreciation for work. But to say that it ought to be an apology tour, I think whoever said that may have said it in jest. I don't think we should validate it with a serious conversation about it. The tour which we have, as we have it today, is a decision of our National Council, the second highest body in our party in terms of decision making, has sanctioned that the party undertakes that thank you tour. It now has become a party activity that every member per our constitution is enjoined to uphold and defend. And such people who call themselves members of the party must fall in line, must align themselves with the party's activity and uphold it and promote it accordingly, because it is not a unilateral decision of one person to which we are invited to critique and make input, but it is the considered view of the National Council of our party. Outside of our delegate conference, that is the body that runs the party, whose authority is final. And so this decision came about as a result of extensive deliberation at the last National Council we held. And the opinion that the council came up with is that what would help and drive the party's fortune is a thank you tour that we must actually engage on. What is new with this thank you tour compared to the previous ones is that the candidates would have done this on their own. So that Dr. Bawumia would have led his own thank you tour with his team, just going about thanking people for what support was provided. But this time, in the wisdom of National Council, decided that the party should do it in the spirit of unity to bring on board all the aspirants in the 2024 presidential primaries to forge a certain united front. And I think that that's a creative effort. And those who have reservation, I will entreat to use the appropriate forum to address those concerns, and if they have input, to use those same forums rather than come to the media issuing statements and speaking to issues that they ought to be promoting and supporting rather than criticizing.
I've heard some people say, and that's my penultimate question to you before I come to Hamza, I've heard some people say that when you monitor the commentary that's been made by persons who have been given opportunity to speak at the Thank You Tour Forum, it's beginning to derail the very objective for which this Thank You Tour has been organized or has been put together. Now, if you listen to somebody like Boakye Agyarko, who is himself wanted to become flag bearer, he contested. He issued a statement. And in that statement, he says, what was intended to restore our party's shine and reconnect us with the grassroots is instead unraveling into bouts of discord, blame shifting, and internal strife. He says, this regrettable turn of events threatens to inflict serious collateral damage on the very fabric of our party. In fact, he's gone ahead to warn that the unfolding situation, if left unchecked, could erode the goodwill and trust the party has painstakingly built with the Ghanaian electorate over the years, and he's urging the leadership of the party to act swiftly to prevent further damage, describing the current trajectory as a potential coalition cause. How do you respond to this?
Well, that's his opinion. One thing that I would say is the Honorable Boakye Agyarko is a serious member of the party, a senior member of our party, one who played very critical roles in our party, been Minister of State, has led campaigns, as a manager, been advisor, he's done it all. But this is a low for me. If you've sacrificed all these for a party, and the same party is engaged in a process to regroup, that's not a forum. That's not appropriate means to communicate whatever concerns you have. It's completely wrong for him to do that. By the way, by the decision of National Council, he is supposed to be on the tour. Why is he not on the tour? Why is he sitting home writing letters? He should be on the tour. If you are a member of the New Patriotic Party, we're just not any ordinary group of people. We're a group that is properly regulated by a constitution. And by a constitution, what he has done is contrary. So he should be on the tour and not at home issuing statements. That's wrong. You see, the party is bigger than any one individual. It doesn't matter how much you have given to the party. Today, we would serve our time and be gone, but the New Patriotic Party will remain forever, right? So we today who have the privilege of serving it should not do anything to weaken it, to besmirch the image of the party just because we can. I think it's irresponsible to say it mildly. You understand? This is a generational effort that we're engaged in. People gave their lives, so they're gone wherever they are. Expect us to hand a better party down to our posterity. And so these actions are, for me, to put it gently, it's irresponsible. And especially when in the heat of things we're trying to bring a certain unity, you don't piss in it like that. That for me is unacceptable. Okay. You understand? And so I would appeal to Honorable Boakye Agyarko that he join the tour. You are not precluded from joining. Join the tour, make your input. I'm sure at the end of the day, there is a meeting that reviews and talk about what we are doing and how we can enhance and all of that. It's a human institution. We are not robots. People have emotions. I think you saw what happened yesterday with Honorable Kenneth Agyapong and Abronya
DC. Yeah.
It's a human institution. Emotions come in, but we settle at the end of the day and deal with it. We are not perfect by any means, but we must be honest to accept our weaknesses and advance our strengths, make corrections and move forward as a people. These things are not helping. And those who think that writing these letters is rather helping, they are destroying. We are engaged in building a process. Join the process. If you want to join it, join it. If you don't want to join it, then sit and be quiet. Okay. You don't sit at home, destabilize the process where people are giving effort. Look, traveling around this country is not a joke. You understand? It's actual work. And you don't eat from morning till evening. When I think I left Accra 3 a.m. to go to Takoradi, got back here. You understand? So it's the risk involved in traveling and all of that. So it's real work. So if you will not do it and people are doing it, don't sit home and piss in it. This party will be united. This party will come together. But those who are pissing in, they should know that they are not doing the party any service. At minimum, they are going against the constitution of the party and they should stop it. That letter for me serves no purpose except to do the bidding of an individual and perhaps arm our opponents, the NDC, to have an occasion to talk about what we are doing internally.
You cited, for instance, I won't call it an altercation per se, but a bit of the give and take between Abronya DC, who is I believe is still the Bono regional chairman of the party, and Kenneth Agyapong. Now, there are some who feel that when you listen to the kinds of comments that he made, I mean, the whole episode could have been avoided if, for instance, the candidate or the former flag bearer decided to do this thank you tour on his own and not extend an invitation to others who contested him. I remember that contest was pretty rancorous. There's some of them who were not happy. The party had to come together to try and get people
Mauro,
to say
let me just help you.
So there's some people who feel that perhaps
we've gone past that.
Should have just done this. No, I'm talking about this campaign.
Yeah, I'm saying
thank you, Tom.
I'm saying that we've gone past that. National Council has taken a position that becomes the party's position. I know, and I can tell you this because what you're saying, reason I say we've passed that point is that Dr. Bawumia actually, way back February 4th, was what he wanted to do a tour by himself and was prevailed upon because we're doing, the Professor Okoye committee was still ongoing. And he thought that maybe let that finish and then I will engage in a tour. And then just when he could do it, National Council thought that in the spirit of unity, let's do it as one. I think that's the right way to go. It's a novelty.
You still think it's a good idea?
Absolutely, it's a good idea. The conduct of people does not make it a bad idea.
Okay.
All right, people must understand that when you belong to a group, you act in concert. You don't act individually, act in concert. And so that's a good idea. I think it's one that we should promote, because if you want to be united, you must be seen to be working together. And so the point I make is that Boache Jacko should join the thing, join the tour, rather than sit home and then issue letters. Join the tour, do the hard work of building the party. And I think that if honestly he intends to run again as our flag bearer, this conduct is not acceptable. Okay, he needs to join, because now is the time to do the hard work. The heavy lifting is now. What we're doing, going around doing, some people may perceive it to be advancing Dr. Bawumia's interest, but I tell you it's not. Because if we don't have a formidable party, it doesn't matter who the candidate will be that mounts that party platform, right? So right now it's a collective work that must be done. Nobody should exclude themselves. This is the time to do the heavy lifting, to present a strong party and then offer that party to any of the potential aspirants who then will become our flag bearer. So if you are not involved in the process of putting the party together, you just show up tomorrow after issuing letters and other things, then you want to be carried on and put on a platform that others have labored to build. I find that let me just not say it, but I find that to be unpatriotic, if you like. I find that to be unacceptable and a poor show of commitment to the party. So the best thing that we're doing now is the party is carrying the candidate, and for that matter, all aspirants and all party people who wants to see the party strong and formidable to wrestle power from the NDC must join in. This is the work time. This is not for Bawumia, this is not for Kennedy Japan, who I commend for being part of it. He was right there from Western region, Western North, and then still on the tour. I think that I commend him, and I invite others. I think Kojo Nsafua also is on the tour, and I invite all the other aspirants. We must work in concert.
So far it's Kojo Nsafua, Kennedy Japan,
who
and
is
Dr.
on.
Mahmoud Bawumia.
Yes, and I anticipate and I hope that the rest will join, including Honorable Boache Jacko must join, because this is party time. What we are working for the party. It's not for Bawumia, it's not for anybody. It cannot be for anybody. If there is any indication that it's for Bawumia, we must speak against it, because this is the time we are prepping the party. The time for candidacy and campaign for candidates would come. But now is MPP time, and every MPP member must be seen to be aiding that process.
Finally, we are beginning to learn through the comments that have been made by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia some of the reasons officially, I believe, that led to the party's defeat. Are you able to confirm whether the list of factors as enumerated or outlined by the former vice president and presidential candidate are issues that he's sourcing from the Professor Michael Oquaye report, or these are still his own thoughts and opinions based on his own personal study he perhaps may have conducted or speaking to people post-2024 elections and have come to a firm conclusion that these are the issues that led to the party's defeat? Are you able to confirm if he's already given us some tidbits from the Professor Michael Oquaye report? It talks about arrogance of power, talks about DDP, talks about E-Levy, talks about National Cathedral, and a number of other things. Are these from the Michael Oquaye report, Professor Michael Oquaye report?
Well, Moro, I can tell you this, that some of the reasons that have been talked about, short of saying that is from the report, are matters that you can attest
in the public domain.
Yes, yeah. I mean, the matter to do with the cathedral, we know is going to be a net loss for us because of how it was politicized. But it's an important decision. It was an important and noble project to be done. But I hope that someday it is done in whatever shape or form that is done. But it's something that there's a value to it if you look at it. If you look at the E-Levy, we know it's going to be a net loss for us because of how it was politicized. right? So you knew that there were challenges with that. When it came to the restructuring and changing people in positions and all, we knew that there were some concerns there. So if you mention arrogance of power, that's a very strong way to characterize it. But then the fact that people wanted, restructure or got people be changed, we knew that that was going to be a challenge. But then, you see, the truth is that, and the same will apply to the NDC, is that the truth is that you have one leader. That leader is the vision bearer, and he only is the one empowered to make that change. And the reason he will make that change is that he sees something that requires changing. If he, at the point, he doesn't see that, and you see, it doesn't mean that he necessarily he can take on your input, maybe use that to counsel the individual and say, look, these are the feedback I'm getting, can you fix that, can you fix that? But the essential reason why he wants the person to be there is known to him, and it is in the interest of the country that he does that. Now, if we had won the election, Moro, all of these things would have become material. It would have been said in history that Akufo-Addo was genius, that when he came to a point where people were agitating, change that man, change this woman, change that man, he persisted, he endured, and he kept faith. That would have become a model. You understand? So now that we didn't win that election, the propensity to say that, oh yeah, that was the reason is high, is there. So we'll say that. But the point is that constructively we'll take those on board, but it is not to say that these are novelty and ideas that's out of left field and nobody knew that they existed. These were things that we talked about, but as a leader, you make a decision and you stick with that decision. And I think that as a party and as a government, we supported that idea. It's our collective effort, it's our collective decision, and we'll make the amends where they are necessary, and we'll learn from them appropriately to condition our future governance of this.
And is it also a collective blame? Or some people
if there is anything like that, yes, but I know of collective responsibility.
Okay. Hamza, you're a member of the NDC. Do you care what happens to the NPP, how they regroup, they reorganize?
Of course, of course.
Why? What's your problem?
The New Patriotic Party is a public institution under the laws of Ghana. Remember that our constitution provides the legal basis for political parties to operate, and immediately they are given the tacit approval to play their role in our democratic dispensation. They become public entities. And as far as I am concerned, I'm a citizen of the Republic of Ghana, and they owe me some level of accountability, despite the fact that I'm a, of course, not me, I am a member of the National Democratic Congress, but they still owe us that measure of accountability when it comes to their internal happenings. And for me, Moru, you see, when our brother was speaking, I simply could not hold back my smiles.
Why?
Because of the perhaps because of their failure to learn useful lessons, even considering their conduct in government. Not long ago, on this very platform, I'm losing my voice, sorry. Not long ago, on this very platform, I reminded you of how the Akufo-Addo legacy seemed to be the #1 challenge of the current New Patriotic Party. And I remember I used the word poison chalice. Interestingly, my brother just confirmed that assertion I made, because listening to him, I am simply amazed at the glorification of incompetence that he and the entire National Council of the New Patriotic Party seem to be engaged in. You have gone into an election, you have lost an election, you've commissioned a report, and at the back of that, instead of you engaging key players within the political party behind the scenes to reach some truths in terms of what might have gone wrong in the past, you proceed, even before having time to scrutinize that document and make recommendations as to how to proceed, you proceed to call all flag bearers to engage on a thank you tour on the basis of what arrangement? Any responsible political party would have tried to engage the likes of Bawumia, the likes of Kennedy Agyapong, so that you do not go to the grounds, engage in attacks and counterattacks like we saw over the weekend. That is not how to run a political party. And so for me, it's still a manifestation of the level of incompetence that characterized this nation over the last 8 years that seem to still be the #1 problem of the New Patriotic Party, even in opposition, because they simply don't even understand how to run their own political machinery. And I feel sorry for many of the MPP supporters out there, because clearly what is happening is also another manifestation of failure on the part of the National Executive Committee of the New Patriotic Party, and provide basis for their removal in any Congress that they decide to hold. You simply don't run a political party in that manner. What informed that decision? He is unable to tell us. Today, one of the instrumental figures of the last primaries, Boakye Agyarko, I hope I got the name right, is pissing in. You refer to him as a senior member of the New Patriotic Party, yet on this same table, you are a junior officer of that political party. You have referred to your senior member as an irresponsible party member. So what kind of union, what kind of peace are you guys pushing when you can sit on the same platform and refer to a senior colleague or a senior member of your party as irresponsible? Is that the kind of grooming you got? And so I'm not surprised about this arrogant stand, because even in opposition, they are still unwilling to shake off that arrogant stack. That's what my brother has demonstrated this morning on this platform. It is time they started actually going to the basics and actually learning from those they ought to be learning from when it comes to the management of a political party.
He didn't describe him as irresponsible. He said his action